welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Amber, and for those who do know me, welcome back. As you can see, I'm in a different setting now. I'm actually home. Been home since Saturday now. I know this is probably not making sense of why I said I'm home now, but if you haven't seen any of my videos, I had decided to become a surrogate. And so I'll talk about a little bit more of my experience down the line, because then it'll finally make sense. I'm actually home now recovering. So yeah, and I'm making this video now. It's like after 8 right now, so I'm trying to catch like the natural lighting for the video. But anyway, so this video is actually going to be a little different. It's going to be like 3 different types of conversations in a way. The first one, I'm of course talk about my experience as a surrogate and my journey. The second one is just giving a little bit of advice based off of, again, my experience, and, to like future surrogates for women who are considering becoming a surrogate and, or thinking about it, researching it. Just giving some little advice based off of moi. Can't speak for no one else. And the last one is just going to be like a little venting session that kind of like pieces in with like the surrogacy anyway, but not really. But anyways, I'll talk a little bit about that too. Excuse me if I'm looking a little rough. It's been a long week. Well, it's just been a long, yeah, it's just been long. The past week, and then of course, a few days. So just trying to, recover and get back to, normal life again. So yeah, so let's get started. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move on up. Okay, so my experience as a surrogate, it was enjoyable, stressful, and it was actually a really good experience. It's enjoyable, and it was a really good first experience for me because, like I said, I've never been a surrogate before. This is my first time doing it, and I will say I am, it was a great experience. I mean, I was blessed to be matched with who I was matched with, worked with a great agency, and of course blessed to have a lot of support behind me, which, by the way, I do want to take time out to say thank you to everyone who has supported me and been behind me and sent me so much love and blessings, especially when I ended up finding out that I was going to give birth, which was last week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. There's just no words. I'm just glad that at the end I'm healthy and I'm safe, and of course the babies are healthy and safe, so that's the important thing. If you guys want to find out more about my little crazy story that led up to me giving birth last week, I made a video while I was in the hospital, which is actually up. So please feel free to watch it. So I'm not going to go into full detail about that in this video. But pretty much, long story short, last week on Tuesday, I gave birth. Ended up preterm labor, of course, because I was only 28 weeks. So had a C-section, but which is why it would make sense why I said that I'm in a different setting now and I'm home, been home since Saturday. So hopefully that makes sense now. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. I will say that my first trimester was rough, and let me just say this, if I say stuff that may be a little too much for people's ears. It's okay to exit, but we're all grown, and this is my channel, so I'm gonna say what I need to say. So, um, but anyways, like I said, the process was very long. So just keep that in mind. It seems like I just started the process yesterday. It's still a little shock how I went from being pregnant to all of a sudden not pregnant. So it just seems like the journey was short, but everything happens for a reason. So that's exactly what I believe in. Um, the first trimester was rough for me. I will not lie. Besides being nauseated the whole entire trimester. When I say I was nauseous the whole entire trimester, I never got sick, which is weird, but I was nauseous the whole entire first trimester. I've experienced things that I never experienced with my first pregnancy with my son, which is one of them. That's one of them. Of course, I was nauseous with my son, but I did get sick one time with him. But this pregnancy, never actually got sick, just was nauseous the whole entire. And let me tell you, that was miserable. I ended up going to the emergency room twice. Nothing super serious, but being a surrogate, that means you're carrying someone else's child, so you want to be cautious at all times. One of the times actually was on my birthday. Turns out I was bleeding a lot. So, of course, I needed, in early pregnancy, first trimester, that's like one of those dangerous zones where, anything could happen. So, of course, me being cautious, ended up going to the emergency room, finding out I passed like 2 blood clots on 2 different days. One of them, like I said, happened to be on my birthday, which was fun spending the night in the emergency room on my birthday. And the other one was the night before. But at the end of the day, thank God they were just blood clots. The babies were fine. So yeah, those were probably the actually most miserable and rough parts of the pregnancy was my first trimester, which honestly I don't miss at all. But after that, everything else, like after that, the rest of it was like smooth sailing. But then once I got into my third trimester, I noticed that I was having like really bad mood swings. Like I was just irritable a lot. I think I was more irritable. There was times I wanted to cry. I don't even know why I wanted to cry. But that's part of being pregnant. So, and it's weird because with my son, like I said, when I was pregnant with my son, I didn't even experience all that. So like I said, everybody's pregnancy is different. But yeah, I did experience some things that were different with this one than my last one. But, other than that, I mean, there's not really too much since I ended up giving birth like last week. So the journey was cut short. It's still crazy to me. The shock is worn off, of course, but it's still crazy to me. Like, I'm still mind blown at times. Like, it's like a WTF moment. I never experienced that because, like I said, my son was full term. So this was I guess there's a first time for everything. Like I said, the important thing is that everybody came out healthy and safe. So that's all that matters. After that, like I said, so pretty much that was basically my experience. Despite everything, the nausea and the blood clots and, going into labor early, I don't regret becoming a surrogate. I have no regrets at all. Now that I'm not pregnant, my emotions are everywhere. I still have my moments like I just want to cry, and I honestly don't even know why either. But let me just make this very, very clear. They're not due to any type of attachment to the babies. Okay, my feelings towards the baby is more like a friend type of thing. So let's just be clear, because I don't need anyone thinking that, oh, I'm attached to it. No, I'm not. Okay. I think just my hormones and everything is just trying to get back on track again. So yeah, it's just been a really whirlwind. Like I said, as of right now, my emotions are just everywhere. There's times I'm happy or I'm sad. Not sad, but like want to cry for like I said, for no reason. Or there's times I'm just irritated. I think I'm like a little bit more irritated now. Um, but yeah, basically just, you know, going from pregnant to not pregnant, just trying to, sorry about that. So yeah, despite, you know, I believe the good always outweighs the bad, and honestly, it's true because despite all that other stuff, you know, the general pregnancy symptoms, you know, something good came out of it, and it was two babies. So, like I said, I have no regrets. I'm really glad that I did it. And honestly, will I be a surrogate again after I'm healed up? As of right now, this is my first and last journey for right now. If I decide to do it later on down the line, down in the future, I absolutely will do it again. I have no problems doing it again because I feel like, you know, you're helping somebody complete a family, and I see like there's nothing wrong with this. So yeah, you know, I was very excited about this journey, and I'll be excited doing the next one if I decide to do another one in the near future. But as of right now, I'm just, now that I'm not pregnant anymore, you know, I'm focusing on me and my son, and you know, I have goals and things that I'm trying to accomplish now. As you can say, moves to make for us. So now I'm just focusing on that. Like I said, just getting back to normal life now. Um, but yeah, like I said, I, you know, I have no regrets, none whatsoever. So, yeah, and like I said, I appreciate, and that's actually what I want to do. Again, I just want to thank everyone for all the support that you guys have given me, for all the positivity and the positive comments that you guys gave me, and all the love and blessings that you guys gave me. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. You guys, it really helped and made my journey a lot easier, a lot smoother, a lot more enjoyable for me, especially it being my first time. Um, I Now honestly, I never got any negative comments. Even if I did, it wouldn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, it was my choice and my decision, my body. Um, but yeah, I appreciate it all. So thank you guys so much. It was an amazing journey. I hate that it got cut short, but you know, I'd rather everyone be safe. So, you know, it was out of my hands, out of my control. There was nothing I can do about it. I'm just glad that, again, at the end, everybody came out safe, unharmed, no complications. So, and it was actually pretty crazy because I never had a C-section, and honestly, I was freaking out. You know, I told myself I never wanted a C-section. Just the idea of getting cut just freaks me out. Um, you know, and the thing that actually made it stressful, of course, was being pregnant through this pandemic, the virus, you know, trying to make sure I'm safe, the babies are safe, and of course, my son being safe. That's what made it stressful. And then, of course, you know, the idea of having a baby or any child and, you know, giving birth in a hospital, knowing that at the time, you know, it just, to me, it just, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only woman at the time pregnant thinking this, you know, I'm sure almost every pregnant woman had fear of giving birth in the hospital because, you know, the virus, you know, so that was one of my anxieties and fears of having the kids early, the babies early, um, you know, and just, of course, having a C-section, which I really didn't want. I've never had one before, but I will say that the nurses, they really made it easy for me. You know, I went in there, of course, I was shocked with how the whole situation happened. But I will say that they made it comfortable for me and easy for me, um, to go in and have a C-section, even though I had no choice one way or another. So, um, but I really thank them too, for making it easy for me, especially considering this was my first C-section. I never had one before. And I will say it was different. Of course, I'm not feeling pain. Of course, I had a lot of support around me to make sure I was comfortable and everybody was safe. I will say it was very interesting. Um, of course, I didn't feel any like cutting or anything because, of course, the epidural, which I had a spinal epidural. But of course, I felt the tugging and the pressure. So now, would I want another one again? Absolutely not, because the recovery period sucks. Um, you know, and of course, I had the fear of staying in the hospital for long periods of times because, of course, the virus, I know the virus is still out there, but thank God I'm okay. So, I'm healthy and I'm good and everybody's fine. So I thank the nurses and the doctors and the OBs for making it as comfortable as you could for me. The stay was very comfortable for me. But like I said, the recovery, I just, like, I mean, the day of course, wasn't that bad. But when I say the day after, because, the day after they had me walking, because you don't want to sit down for so long. That, sorry. But yeah, that was something I was not looking forward to, was the day after, which of course was having me walk around. That day was the worst for me. I felt like someone just like literally like took all my insides out and just ran over me like a million times. So yeah, that, and then just trying to walk. I could barely walk. I could barely like sit up. Like I was like hunchbacking it. Probably from day, I'm not gonna count the day that I gave birth, but the day two, day one, the day after, and then the day before, I was like pretty much hunchbacking it, like, and trying to, go to the bathroom and shower, just walking period. It was uncomfortable, but I knew I had to do it in order to, move around and help the recovery period. Being in the hospital, I was not, I wasn't really feeling good or well either for a bit. My body was aching a lot, but I know that was probably because, just had the baby, so my body was gonna be weak, which I expected. I know with my son, I was like that too. So, the recovery period, I will say having babies vaginally is better than having a C-section. I can honestly say that now, since I now officially experienced both ways. I would take a vaginal birth over a C-section any day. So yeah, but I came home. I was in there for like that whole week. Came home Saturday. Now I'm able to walk a little bit more. I can't walk like as quickly as I used to. But I'm able to move around a little bit. Still hurts. Like I said, I'm still taking my medication and stuff. Still sore down there. Of course, I'm still taking it easy. But other than that, like I said, I'm moving a little bit more better than I was in the hospital. But like I said, I was, the stay was not that bad. I was comfortable, I was really thirsty. Like, honestly, I don't know what it is about after having a baby. Like, for me, being in the hospital, all I wanted to do was just drink. I drank a lot of juice. I probably drank up all the juice. But I kid you not, like, I didn't even want to eat at all. Like, the first few days after, I did not want to eat, and all I could do or wanted to do was just drink. like juice and water, which I actually did. I drank more juice and water than actually eating, if anything. So it was weird. I probably drank up all her juice. So yeah, that was my experience. But like I said, I have no regrets. Thank God no complications happened during the C-section. So I thank God for that. No complications with the baby. So that's all. I'm really, I pray to God and thank God every day. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my experience went. So if you want, like I said, if you want to hear about the crazy story, like I said, there's a video I posted up while in the hospital about that. Um, I will say I will never forget this moment. This is actually one for the books for me. So yeah, this is one experience I will never forget. But we all have different experiences. So yeah, that's actually how my experience went. Like I said, I was blessed to um, the way how my surrogacy journey went. I didn't have to look over and over. I went with the first match that I knew in my heart was a good one for me and who I wanted to help. Um, so that was a blessing. I didn't have to go through all these different profiles. The agency is amazing. So I won't say the name, but shout out to the agency. You guys are awesome, amazing. And you guys been there every step of the way, or they've been there every step of the way, reached out. They're very sweet and very kind. And if I decide to do it again, I'll definitely go back to them again. So yeah, everything has been a real blessing, like I said. So yeah, it kind of sucks that it's over with, but like I said, there's nothing I could do, and there's nothing I could have done. Um, it was out of my control, so, and it's okay. So yeah, that it was my experience. So yeah. um, so next part I want to talk to you guys about. Basically, I just want to give, put in my little 2 cents about, and like advice to future surrogates, meaning ones who are in the process of it, um, considering it, doing their research, um, stuff like that. Just because I know there's not a lot of videos out there about surrogacy, which there should be. I know for me personally, before I actually went into the process, I was doing my research, which is very important, by the way. Always do your research, especially if you've never done surrogacy. Do all the research you can. For me, like I said, before I even signed up with the agency that I signed up with, I did my research. I, joined a group that was specifically for surrogacy. I learned a lot, different stories from different women. Um, but it's actually kind of weird because that's how I found the agency that I worked with was actually on Facebook. So it was actually pretty crazy. I signed up, um, and then like I said, the process for me it actually happened pretty quickly. Um, but that's how it first started for me. So advice to future surrogates: always do your research. Don't just be quick to jump in to anything. I've always said surrogacy is something that you don't take lightly. You always want to take it seriously because you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste the agency's time. You don't want to waste the parents' time. So just make sure you do your research and find out which agency works for you. If you decide to go with the agency, I know there's another way of being a surrogate, which is independent, meaning it's all on you. You don't have anybody to take care of things, handle things. It's all on you. Um, my advice to first timers is to go through an agency. Again, that would be up to you if you decide you want to go to an agency, but if you decide you want to go independent, that's good for you. But my personal advice would be to go through an agency, because if, for one, you don't know like how the process works. So and they do, of course. So it would be easier to go through agents, because then they take care of everything. Um, so again, that's just my advice. That's what I did, and I don't regret it. It actually was like less stress on me, and I learned a lot. So there's so many agencies out there. Just make sure you, again, do your research, ask questions. That's another thing. Always, always, always ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, especially when it comes to being a surrogate. Um, so yeah, just always ask questions, and don't feel obligated to the first agency you find. Um, Even if you have to call and ask questions, do that too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's important for you to make sure that you feel comfortable, because keep in mind, you will be dealing with that agency from beginning to end. So you want to feel comfortable with them, and they should want to feel comfortable with you. So again, research agencies, ask questions. I know there's groups out there that are specifically for surrogacy. You have women out there that have done it more than one time, so it's good to kind of pick their brains and ask questions. Learn stories, find out, and that's another thing. When I say do your research, that means learn everything. I know I did. I had Googled, um, I Googled stuff too, meaning know what you're getting into, know the risks, because there are risks in surrogacy. So please don't think that there isn't. Understand the process of it, because I will tell you it is a lengthy process, so you have to be patient. You're not going to just get matched like that, because they are not stupid. None of these agencies are stupid. So understand it is a time consuming process. You need to be patient. Um, just understand everything, like learn everything as much as you can. And for me personally, I know one of my favorite things was going on YouTube and watching, and I literally watched as many surrogacy videos as I could. And this was this is probably when I first signed up for it, all the way through. Even in my pregnancy, I've watched as many surrogacy videos on like YouTube. There's some really good ones. I enjoyed watching them because I learned new things, and I learned things that I didn't really know of. So that helps too. So, go on YouTube, look up some videos. I know there's not a lot out there, but there are some out there, and there are really some good ones. Excuse me, like I said, go on social media. There are groups specifically for surrogacy. I did that. That helped a lot too, because like I said, I learned from a lot of different people, or women, the good and the bad. There's good stories, and then, of course, they, talk about the risks, complications, the risk of not being able to have your own kids again. That's why they want to make sure you have your own kids first, and make sure that you are done with having a family, because that is one of the risks, is infertility. Anything can go wrong. I'm not saying that things can't go wrong in a natural pregnancy, but I'm just letting you know as far as surrogacy wise. So learn the risks of it, and make sure that's something you can handle and deal with. And if it is, okay, cool, then, go ahead and do it. But if not, if it's not something that you're ready for or can handle or deal with, then that's fine too. Also, look up the requirements. I know in one of my videos I talked about the requirements of being a surrogate. Like I said, I just named two of them. They mostly, all agencies do, again, want you to at least have one child And then, of course, make sure that you're done with having a family because of the chance of infertility, of not being able to have your own kids. And I'm not saying it's for sure. I'm not saying it'll happen. Every woman is different, has different experiences, but that is something that could be a possibility in surrogacy. Um, as far as the process, when I say it's time consuming and you need to be patient, it's very time consuming. You got to go through a few stages before you get to the fun part, which is getting matched with the IPs or IP, depending. Of course, you have signing up. Then you got to go through, if that pulls through, then you're going to, you have the psych evaluation. And the whole point of the psych evaluation is just to make sure you are capable mentally and emotionally. I'm fine, Jaden. Mentally and emotionally able to carry a baby, because it does. Come on. Thank you. Y'all. Hey y'all, everybody. Okay, go back. Thank you, boo boo. That was my son. But yeah, the whole point of the psych evaluation is just to make sure you're capable mentally and emotionally, be able to carry a baby for somebody else, and just to make sure you that they feel comfortable with taking you on as a surrogate. I will not lie to you. I will say this: if you do decide to become a surrogate or considering it, make sure you're coming in with an open mind, with pure intentions, and being open and honest. Now, when I say honest, you need to be very honest, because I will not lie to you that they will ask you questions that you may not feel comfortable answering. I will say, if you feel like you gotta lie, or if you feel like you just don't want to, answer questions, then maybe surrogacy is not for you, because I've always said what's in the dark comes to light, and when it comes to surrogacy, you don't want that to happen. So just make sure that and understand that it's actually a lengthy evaluation. And they will ask you a lot of questions. They will ask you questions, like I said, you may not even want to answer, didn't think they were going to ask you. They are going to ask you all kinds of questions. And, it's not to offend you, not to make you mad, but they want to make sure that they're choosing the right person to become a surrogate. So if they feel like, you doing a good job, you'll go on to your medical evaluation, which contains, of course, you go and get some ultrasounds done. Basically, the point of that is just to check the uterus to make sure that, everything is good, that you're even able to carry. Of course, they're going to do lab work and stuff like that. I made a video, but basically just to make sure everything is good, you're clean, you're in good health. So those are one of the two big ones. And like I said, even, there's no guarantee that you will become a surrogate, just depending on your medical evaluation and your psych evaluation. But no matter what, like I said, if with being a surrogate, always come in with your pure intentions, and always be honest. Communication is the key. Being honest is the key. So yeah, there's those. And the other one I'm going to tell you, of course, is they do have the legal side to surrogacy, because like I said, they're not dumb. They want to make sure they're protected just as much as the surrogate is protected, and of course the IPs. There are contracts involved. So don't think that you're going to be getting away with anything, which is why I say it's important if you decide to become a surrogate, taking it back to the psych evaluation, always be honest. Just be honest. You should you'll have to, you need to be kind of like an open book. Um, but like I said, if you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you don't want to talk about it, or you feel like you have to lie just to get through, then don't do it, because you don't want to set yourself up or put yourself in a position that's going to backfire and could possibly cost you money. Because like I said, being a surrogate, you want to make sure, you are not only are you investing your time, but so is the agency. They're investing their time and money, and of course the parents are doing it too. So again, make sure you're honest. Honest. It may feel uncomfortable, but they have to do what they feel is right. It's not coming from a bad place. They just they have to do it. So um yeah. So after that, um like I said, they do have a legal side to surrogacy, so just remember that. Also, the other thing is just to make sure you have support. That's one of the other things, important things, is to have, not just friends and family, but also, on the work side too, if you work. I've heard stories and read stories about women or couples losing jobs because of it. And I say that because, you'll have to take off work on certain days. Like I said, every agency is different, so it just depends. There's some, but I'll just say this: you'll have to take off some days. I know for me, in my experience personally, I had to take off some days, to go do my ultrasounds when I was in the beginning of the process. I had to drive to a different area. And then, of course, when it was time to do the embryo transfer, I had to fly out, which there's also a video on there of my journey with that. So I was blessed enough to have a job that supported me, also was behind me and supported me, also was very lenient. And when it came to that, so always make sure that you have that support before you even sign up. Because if you don't have that support, not so much, but I mean, it's important to have that support from your family and friends. But if you're working, your job is very important. We all have to work. So if you have a job that won't support you taking off days or a week or whatever the case might be, then just don't do it. Don't put yourself in that position. It's not worth it. And I'm not saying helping someone have a family is not worth it. Please don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, don't put yourself in that situation where you can lose your job. Surrogacy is always going to be here, so just wait until you're able to do it. I just want to make that clear. So yeah, like I said, when I say I've been very blessed, I've been very blessed. So, and even up until now, I've been having a lot of support, from the work side, which I'm very grateful for too. So again, make sure you have the good support that you need. Have a lot of support, or good support at least, from every end. That's very important. Yeah, that's my son. He likes to check up on me, give me kisses. I miss my little boy was gone, but yeah. So and also I know that when it comes to surrogacy, that's like a little sensitive, touchy subject. Well, actually, let me back up. So yeah, after the support, sorry, my mind is like going everywhere. When it comes to matching, because like I said, once you get through that other whole process, after your medical and your psych and you're cleared for all that, then the fun part begins of getting matched with either IPs or IP, or which stands for intended parents or intended parent, or some people say intended mom, which is IM, or an ID. I never really heard of intended dad, but I've heard intended mom. Where based off of what you tell the agency in your preferences, they'll match you with someone. They'll send you profiles, And I will say this, don't rush it. Don't feel obligated to where you have to go with the first profile or the first match. You don't have to. Take your time. And if you feel like you don't connect with that one, then, they'll send you other profiles. So just take your time. Don't rush, because at the same time, you want to feel comfortable. And of course, they want to feel comfortable. And then there's going to come to a point where you will do video chat. I guess it depends. Every agency is different. Hold on. But basically, yeah. Just don't rush in trying to find a quick match so you can get the process going. Take your time. Again, you want to feel comfortable. You want them to feel comfortable. So you'll know if they're a right match or if they're not a right match. Again, for me, I was blessed enough to go with the first match that, or the first profile that I was matched with. So not everybody has that, or has that connection. So just remember, just take your time. Like I said, don't rush things. It's okay to continue to look until you find the right one. So when it comes to matching, just remember, just take your time. But yeah, as far as that, also, like I said, when there was something else I wanted to say about taking surrogacy seriously. When I say go into it, also when you go into it, if you decide to become a surrogate, going into it with an open mind. I also say that because never go into it with high expectations, because anything can happen, especially with the embryo transfer, where that happens once you're matched with a profile. You'll end up doing an embryo transfer. Every agency is different. Some might take you out of state, some might not. Just keep that in mind. For me, I had to go out of state for mine. But yes, always just keep an open mind, stay positive, but don't have any high expectations, because I will be honest, the first round may not always be guaranteed, meaning when you do your embryo transfer for the first time, it may not always take. Depending on you and the parents, if they decide they want to try again, that would be up to them. But just make sure that have that mindset of positivity, hoping it'll take on the first try, but also keep in mind that it may not. I was blessed enough. For me, yeah, I know I say blessed. I like to say blessed because I was blessed. I was blessed enough that mine took on the first try, but that's not always the same for everyone. Every woman's body is different. So just keep that in mind also. So, and other thing I want to say is, being a first time surrogate, people are going to have their opinions about it. Like I said in the beginning, two things for me, I think two types of mindsets that people have is, the first one is, ew, you're actually gonna get paid to carry a baby for somebody else. Just remember, it's your body, your decision, your choice. It's nobody else's choice and decision but yours. People are always gonna have their opinions about something. To me, surrogacy is a beautiful thing. I don't think it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not a wrong thing. At the end of the day, we don't live other people's lives, so we don't know why they chose to be a surrogate, which is why I always say it's important not to judge somebody or judge anybody because of it. Because, like I said, people have personal reasons, or there's even medical reasons. That's the reason why, it's unfortunate that people couples out there can't have their own kids. And not even couples, there could be single parents. There's all types of different people out there that are doing surrogates. It's not just man or woman. There's man and woman, there's man and man, there's woman and woman, there's just man, there's just woman. So I mean, there's different reasons. There's all types of different people. So we can't, it's important not to just judge like that. And if people out there that may have something negative to say about it, I honestly would say just don't say it. I mean, you may not like it, you may not support it, and that's fine, but don't say nothing, especially if you have somebody or you're around somebody who's considering being a surrogate, because you just never know how big of an impact that can make on them and their decision in a negative way. Not everybody is strong enough to take any type of criticism. Me personally, I just don't give a damn, to be honest. Like, people are gonna have their opinions about it, but at the end of the day, it's my choice, my body, my decision. So, but like I said, not everybody has that mentality. So it's just, if you don't have nothing nice to say or about it, just don't say anything at all. Just, so it's like I said, to the surrogates, just don't listen to the negativity. Just continue to keep the positivity in your life, because that's what you need in your life. So just ignore all the bad comments, the negative comments, and just do you. And if surrogacy is something that you always want to do, continue to do it. Go for it. Because to me, there's a bigger picture to surrogacy than what a lot of people see. And I guess that's why people, not everyone, let me make that clear, not everyone, but some people have that negative mindset towards surrogacy, because they don't fully understand it. They don't fully see the reality of it, And I'm not saying being biased, because I was a surrogate, but even before I became a surrogate, to me, I don't see nothing wrong with trying to help somebody complete their family. I really don't. And that's what a lot of people, or some people, the negative ones, don't understand is everybody's not fortunate to carry or to be able to carry a child of their own, or is built to carry a child of their own. Not everybody can adopt for whatever reason, or doesn't qualify to be able to adopt for whatever reason. So at the end of the day, they're going to do what they have to do and want to do to make sure that they have their family, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It really isn't. If anything, you should have more compassion for not just even the intended parents, but for women who decide to become surrogates, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy physically, emotionally, or mentally. It is really not easy. And I will tell you, to the future surrogates, that even though it's a long process and it's 9 months of pregnancy, at the end of the day, it's worth it. It really is worth it, because you did something completely selfless. You put your body on the line. You put yourself, your health and yourself at risk, and I mean because of complications and stuff, but you put your body on the line for somebody else, so that somebody else can have what you have and what they probably struggled to have for so long. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I honestly believe if people really did their research on surrogacy, maybe it would change their mindset and they would see surrogacy in a different light. But like I said, you can't. People have the right to their opinions, and I'm not knocking that. I'm really not. But but I hope that they try to keep that negativity to themselves. Even if they don't support it, and you approach somebody and say, hey, I'm a surrogate or I'm becoming a surrogate, hopefully they'll just be like, oh, okay, that's cool. that's good. That's awesome. Even if they don't mean it. For me, when I would tell people that I'm a surrogate, it was nothing. Thank God, it was just nothing but positive comments. Had women say they wish they could do surrogacy. They've always wanted to do surrogacy. That you know, I'm a really great person for doing something that's so selfless. And it's not me being cocky or anything like that, but I'm always gonna hold those comments close to my heart, even from the people or even from who I was a surrogate for. I'm constantly being thanked. And again, it's not being me being cocky, but I always hold all of that close to me and to my heart, because I know that each and every day I tell myself I did something good. That I did something positive. That I helped complete a family. You know, and that's something, honestly, to be very proud of. Very proud of. And because I feel like if the roles were reversed, we would do what we needed to do or had to do to make sure that we have a child. And I mean, it's priceless. Like, in the end, it's priceless. And like I said, it's nothing to be ashamed of at all. So, to you future surrogates out there, just stay focused on what you want to do. And when, like I said, you decide to become a surrogate and you start the process, continue to do it. I pray that you guys will have all the love and support that you deserve, because it's not going to be easy. It really isn't. But just know you're doing a selfless act for somebody else, and that is awesome. Like I said, it's worth it. It really is worth it. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I have no words, but all I could say is a huge blessing. And I will always hold all those comments close to me and to my heart forever and ever. So just remember that, you're not alone there. You're not alone. There's a lot of women out there who, who are becoming surrogates. There's a lot of parents out there, and I say parents because it doesn't matter who you are, who are struggling to have kids of their own, who need help, and I think it's amazing that there are women out there who are willing to put their bodies on the line and kind of put their life on hold to make sure to help those parents achieve that, to get the family that they've always wanted. So, like I said, I applaud all of you guys. So just remember, you're not alone, and just if this is a decision that you want, then you go for it. Remember, it's your body and it's your choice. So just remember that. And like I said, I can't tell anyone to do it. I'm not going to tell anyone to do it. All I can do is just put in my 2 cents and just give some advice, which I don't mind. Especially just finishing my journey, I don't mind doing that. Because like I said, there's not a lot of information out there about surrogacy, so it's good to have women out there who, yes, I'm okay, who have done surrogacy, who have done surrogacy. I think it's important, to put that information out there to kind of, help put newcomers at ease, because I know it helped me. So that's just basically my little advice. Like I said, I do have videos out there giving more information. Again, do your research. Watch YouTube videos of different women who've done surrogacy. So yeah, and just remember, the key just to have positivity in your life and awesome support. So that's pretty much my advice on it. So like I said, I wish all future surrogates the best, the very best, whether you're researching it again or if you've already started the process. I wish you all the best of luck. I pray that you guys, if you're new to surrogacy, I pray that you guys have the best first experience. If you're if you're you've done surrogacy multiple times, I still wish you guys all the best um, journeys ahead. And again, you guys are awesome, and just always remember that. Just remember you're doing a selfless act for people. So for couples, no matter who it is, just remember you're doing a good thing, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. If anything, it's something to be very proud of. So good job. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. So the last thing I want to talk about is something that has been on my mind actually for some weeks. It really didn't hit me until like last week. Um, and I'll say this, it takes a lot to get under my skin, but there is certain things that that does get to me, like a pet peeve type of thing. Um, but of course I couldn't say nothing before because, like I said, a lot was going on last week. And so, now that I'm back home and recovering now, I have time to just, talk about it, kind of like a vent thing. Um, because it has been on my mind and kind of like weighing on me. So basically, and I've always said this, if anyone who knows me knows I'm a caring person. Like, if you're in my life, especially if you're in my life, when I care hard. You know, that's just the type of person I am. I'll always be there for my friends or family, whoever it is. Like, that's just who I am as a person. Um, and sometimes to me, I feel like that's like my downfall too. Because for so long I've always put other people first before me, and I guess I never really realized it up until maybe what, last year I kind of noticed it, but then this year, of course, with some situations that went on in my life, I realized it too. But I know that, the things that I went through, it opened my eyes and made me see things a whole lot clearly and differently, which caused me to kind of shift gears within me as a person and in my life, to where I had to remove people out of my life that I knew wasn't going to be a positive influence in my life, um, and benefit me. When I say benefit me, that means, you know, be there for me, in a positive way. And so for me, being older, I learned that, I got to pick and choose my battles, which I do. Um, I'm also that type of person where I notice things. Like, I'm good at observing things. Like, that's just how I am. Like, I'm that type of person that will sit back and just watch and observe. Um, and that's basically what I've been doing. And honestly, I noticed something that I don't like. I've always said it, and I'll say it till the day that I die. I'm not that type of person where I like to be treated as like a convenient type person, like, meaning people who check into my life and then will ghost out or check out for long periods of time and then come back when it's convenient. That I don't like. So, and I've always said that, I'm not that type of person who likes, I'm not a convenient type of friend. I would never do that to anyone else, and I don't like it done to me. Like I said, I've always been there for anyone and everyone that has been in my life or hasn't been in my life that long, or whatever the case might be. And another thing that gets to me is when people, especially people you've grown to build relationships with and friendships with, and you've grown to trust, will make promises and aren't kept. You know, for me personally, I will never make promises that I know I can't keep, because I know how, by making promises, knowing that I can't keep them, it's going to hurt that person or hurt others in the long run. It can cause that trust to be ruined and broken. So for me, that's kind of like the situation. Um, and does it suck? I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't hate. I feel like hate is a strong word and it takes too much time to hate. I don't hate. I'm not angry. Am I disappointed? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. But I had to learn to teach myself that the way I see it is you can either put up and shut up and deal with it, or you can remove yourself or remove them from your life and keep moving forward. And at this point, that's what I decided to do. Um, for the sake of me and for my sanity, because I guess that's just not the type of person I am. Like I said, I've sat back and I've observed, and I never said anything, only because I wanted to see, and I've told myself that things would change, but they haven't. So it just came to the point where now it's like you have a decision to make, and I had to make that decision technically last week. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just feel like there has to be, you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't treat people like a convenience type of thing. I don't even know how to put that. Don't just check into somebody's life and think it's okay to check out for so long and then check back in when it's convenient for you, because that's not right. I'm not saying, and I don't want anyone to get it twisted as I want attention or anything like that. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that is going through that or has gone through what I'm talking about, but it's a huge difference. All these bugs. But like I said, I'm good. Like I said, everything I've been through worse, but I will say that now that my eyes are open much more and I see things much more clearly, I'm in a place where I'm okay with, removing people who aren't beneficial in my life. And I'm okay with it. Really, I am, because I believe that when one door closes, God opens another one. So, that's just a situation that I was like struggling with since last week. But I know in my heart that just separating myself and removing myself is what's best. And that goes for anyone out there. If you're going through something that the similar situation or whatever the case might be, at the end of the day, you got to think about yourself. You got to do what's best for you. Whichever way it goes. Like I said, action. I'm just, and this is just me saying it. Actions talk, BS walk. So, that's what I'm about. I'm all about actions, and not really words. So, it was a hard. Well, it was kind of like a hard pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm good. I'm all about just moving forward and focusing on me and my family and doing what I need to do for us. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what God has in store, but as of right now, you know, I have to do what's best for me, and that's just where it's at. So, like I said, I'm good. Like I said, was I disappointed? Of course, I was disappointed. You know, we never want people in our lives to, or would think that people in our lives would, in a way, like break that trust. You know, because to me, like I said, for me, trust is very important. Besides communication and honesty, you know, and I feel like once that trust is broken, it's hard to get back. No, so like I said, I'm all. It's all good. It is what it is. You know, I'm good. You know, I'm just focusing on recovering and getting back to normal life, and just looking forward to the future and what God has in store for us. Like I said, now that my journey is over, now I can focus on making moves on a different path for me and my family. So, you know, everything's good. I'm still blessed with the people that I have in my life. I never take them for granted, never take that for granted. I still wish everyone the best and everyone the happiness, even those who aren't in my life anymore. I don't wish any type of illness on anybody. I don't have that heart to do that, and I would never do that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. But you know, if you guys like the video, please feel free to subscribe, thumbs up. Any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them and I will reply back. I appreciate everyone tuning in. So yeah, pray everyone has a great night, and you guys take care and continue to stay safe. Hopefully this virus will go away soon, and you know, we can all get back to normalcy eventually, hopefully by next year. I know that sounds crazy, but I've accepted the fact that life again won't start until next year. Continue to practice social distancing, hand washing, proper hygiene. And again, you guys take care. Love you guys. Stay blessed. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Thank you again for tuning into my video. Bye.